Anybody want cookies?
Oh, cookies.
Oh, there you go, David.
David. I'm fine.
If you go to a showbiz pizza place on a Wednesday night, you'll see a lot of people eating pizza, some playing video games, more than a few wearing colanders on their heads. That's right, colanders on their heads, and we're talking decorated colanders.
Donkey Kong colander.
The rock lobster colander.
Why would anyone be crazy enough to do this?
It's fun, it's expressive, it's creative.
It also gets you 10 free game tokens and a Coke, and a chance to win a $5,000 trip to Florida.
I had tons of those
A national contest sponsored by Showbiz to help stimulate midweek business. And according to Southgate store assistant manager John Bush, it's working.
Creative engineering came up with this idea of Colander Head Night, and it just went crazy across the country. It's just wild. People are really getting into it.
The 81
There were colanders with moving parts and talking parts, colanders with military themes. In fact, so many of the spaghetti strainers.
This isn't just a spaghetti
That's
strain.
an old mask.
We think of it as the noble American
Where's your
colander.
ears?
Excuse me, I mean so many of these noble American colanders that they started to seem
Ordinary. I wear it every day.
By the end of the evening, scores of otherwise normal people were swearing their allegiance to, you guessed it,
You say, I'm a proud colander head and I don't care. Sit down.
This is what college life does to a man.
It's got a cooking.
Sure, they're laughing, but are they really having fun? In this reporter's objective opinion, they're motivated mostly by greed and a desire to please their peers.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
Clever? Channel 2,
Clever,
right?
here's your official Colander Head membership card.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay, stop it. We can't use that one. Come on, turn it off. We can't use that one. The boss will see it. Come on, hey, turn it off. Turn it off.
No, I've actually seen that before.
You mean I showed it to you?
You've seen it?
It was on where?
A tape that Jen let me borrow.
You're kidding.
No.
Where would she have gotten it?
I don't know. I'll have to ask her.
It was new to me.
Because this was sent to me in '82,
Really?
and I put it
know-
away, and I didn't find it again until recently.
I know for sure I've seen this.
Didn't Looney Bird have a colander though? Because he did in that.
Sure, all the characters had a calendar.
Except
all
Rolf.
except
Rolf.
Rolf. Yeah,
Blindfold him. Yeah, Rolf was too cool for a colander.
yeah. This.
Did you guys completely make up the colander idea?
Yeah, it started in that kitchen. Sal and I were sitting there, and he was playing with a colander. He was playing with it, fiddling with it, put it on his head. He had that big bushy hair, and I just happened to notice how good he looked in a colander. I said, "Man, you realize you look like you're happening in that colander." And he said, "Really?" And he put it back on. Oh, look, really happening, man. I think maybe you just started something there. Next thing you know, that's what happened. And we did things like we used to go out together, you know, Bert and Rick and me and, you know, everybody used to get together and put colanders on our heads and go out to clubs. And actually, one club tried to stop us from going in. They said, "We don't want you guys in here wearing those things." But by the time we talked to them about it and explained to them, you know, this tongue-in-cheek thing, said, "Look, you got to understand, this is the next big thing. This is like cutting edge, and we're doing it here at your club. You know, you got to get with the program." They let us in, and we had a great time, and everybody there had a good time with us. It was really, really fun. And all of it, you know, was just to try and get laid. But, you know,
Carrie didn't hear that.
well, it was before she was born, so it doesn't matter.
This is the last tape that was made for Showbiz, wasn't it?
Alright.
I don't know.
That's a creative. Rig guitar. Yeah. That was only rig guitar there was. Your daughter had a part in this, didn't she? This isn't the same program they used for Chuck E. Cheese. There she was.
Those are our programs. All of a sudden turn to a lead character. You're doing one movement.
Oh!
You gotta have heart.
You did the voice of the Tin Man.
You gotta have
Do you still have any of that left?
Those guys are down in the basement in the corner, taken apart. They're not set up. But I mean, the characters aren't taken apart, but the show's not together. Yeah.
I'd hunt them up.
Yeah, they're.
The tree was. I've seen the tree in like a clip from something else.
Yeah, we used the last time we used them was in Looney Birds. We set them up in Looney Birds.
Bubba was there too, wasn't he? Bubba the Gorilla.
At Looney Birds, yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could have seen the Orlando store. That would have been cool. But it didn't have a classic show. It was just New Rockefeller, right?
The New Rockefeller.
Yeah.
And the reason I used the New Rockefeller was because I was really anticipating that we were going to expand the chain. And if we were going to expand the chain, I didn't think that there would be enough classic shows to go around. I really did think we were going to.
Yeah, that's
make
too
that
bad.
work.
I thought that was going to be the next show.
That show's not running, is it?
The New Rockefeller? No, it's not running. It's set up, you know, more or less. I mean, we didn't take it down, but it's got some, you know, it had some things that needed to be fixed before we could run it again. And it's continued to deteriorate just sitting there. You know, and I don't mean the way things normally deteriorate. I mean like the roof caved in on it. And so there's a lot of repairs that need to be made.
Oops.
It's almost like Santa's workshop. This building occupied by Creative Engineering in downtown Orlando. Its 20 employees are happily building and fixing, mixing, and molding, painting, and gluing the strangest things.
Trying to perfect a way to do it to humans.
They're putting all of these parts together to create characters your kids probably know very well if they go to Showbiz Pizza Parlors. Creative Creative Engineering has produced 2,000 of these musical robotic characters for 150 showbiz pizzas across the nation.
Did you see the
The
bass
most
drum?
difficult thing is synchronizing
That's
them
been
up.
disconnected.
Alex and Tim program the movements into a master computer tape
That was
as
a
they
lie.
sing along with the music.
They don't know. Alex was the manager of the plant. Tim was in R&D.
I've heard this so many times that I knew exactly what was coming, and I have to anticipate it see before.
They do everything here. Make the robot brains, the computers, and record the tapes. One of the characters' voices is that of the company's owner. This is the miniature Billy Bob Show, which they hope to market to schools as a teaching aid. Creative Engineering also does research and development. The Moon Rockers are to be a future sale item.
I wish they would have taken
The Wizard of Oz Scarecrow is their most sophisticated robot with 32 different movements. The Grumpy Tree is marvelous. All of these wonderful characters are by Creative Engineering in Orlando, a company that keeps a low profile while making it big with high tech. If you have an interesting product made in Florida, write me, Glenn Rinker, WCPX TV, Post Office Box 600 6000, Orlando 32860.
66,000. Well, no. He said it weird.
Ray, I think you should go and do this.
I
I'm trying.
need some different people for editing first. See why he doesn't want to do it? Yeah, and you get it on and stick this. Don't you have a neighbor?
That's all right. I'm gonna do it.
Does that look familiar, sweetie?
And we'll let it sit up on edge. Like that to drain down.
Now I gotta show that to Steve. Here it is. Here's how we were supposed to have done it.
Okay.
Steve set it up on the block like that. We were making a Duke mask, and Steve set it up on the block, and he had it kind of suspended, kind of not really very well. And then he took a step and tripped over it and busted the mold into 4 pieces. But he figured out how to repair those molds. And he actually rebuilt the mold.
And he put plaster over it.
Lazo.
Yeah.
Ray died. He was working in the basement. That's our area we were working in here.
He died in the basement?
No.
Just to say, hold on.
And we have a recipe for it, but it'll say something like, I noticed with your back shot I found a hair piece. Good.
Ray was gay, and that was back when gay was very. You just didn't know anybody that was gay. It just didn't happen. But Ray was openly gay, and when we'd ask him about it and talk to him about it, he says, "Well, you're queer for girls." It took me a long time to understand what he meant.
Sure, I have a good hairline.
Steve really needs to see this, because in this are a few little tricks.
Because when it's done, this part is glued back and you have a perfect hairline.
Steve needs to see that, since he's trying to perfect how to do this. And look at that, there's a little strip up there. I wouldn't have thought that, I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
See, she won't even return my calls now.
Effectuated
She won't, Alex
humans.
won't, none of them won't. They'll return my calls because they don't have to answer to me anymore. That's their attitude.
She must be about 110 now anyway, so.
She looks like that bibbidi bobbidi boobity boobity girl on Disney, doesn't she?
Oh, the fairy godmother?
Is that who she is? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the computer itself is a fixed-use computer. Okay, so when the audio tape plays, there's data in the
I want to
audio.
have you say that.
Bo stole more than any other employee.
Director of operations.
He has that distinction.
There you go, director of operations.
He was the first guy to ever steal cable. And of course, an excellent source of drugs of all kinds, including the Black Beauties that kept me up for 8 days in order to get that first show running in Jacksonville. I think it was. I suffered so much from staying awake constantly without getting any sleep. I still treasure my sleep like you wouldn't believe it now as a result of that horrifying experience of not going to bed for 8 days.
Wow. I can't imagine so much of this.
You know, but what would happen is I would start to crash. I needed to work. I couldn't stop. And Bo would get me another Black Beauty, and I'd take it, and like in 15 minutes, I was like ready to go.
Okay, Alex, tell me, this is a continuous use or single-use computer.
Single-use type computer, it's designed for a specific purpose. It's really just designed to operate the characters for the show. The show is programmed in our studios, along with the soundtrack and the movements. And then
Let me say all that. Just tell me about this programming on this, okay? I'm going to do some of that on the back.
Hair right.
Okay.
Hair right.
Just, I need like 10 seconds on a single-use computer and how it operates this, okay?
Okay, a single-use computer takes one of the tracks of the audio tape and deciphers it into 96 individual movements that control the characters in the show. In the show, there are 2 tracks of audio, and they go into 2 different single-use computers. The single-use computers then decipher it into 192
Look at all the
individual
wrinkles
movements that
he
control
has in his forehead. That's so funny because they got bigger and bigger and bigger over the years. He's got like an accordion on his forehead.
I'm Glenn Ranger. This is what your kids will probably recognize as the inside of Ralph D. Wolf. Now, he and all kinds of fascinating characters are made right here in Orlando. I'll show you at 11 o'clock tonight on Made in Florida.
There's the dragon over there on the left.
In Florida, don't miss that one, Al.
Yeah.
Stay very deliberately.
Rolling.
I'm Glenn Raker. This is the inside of what your kids will no doubt recognize as Ralph D. Wolf. Now, he and all kinds of fascinating characters are made right here in Orlando. I'll show you in Orlando.
Rolling.
Orlando.
I'm Glenn Raker. Meet the insides of what your kids will recognize as Ralph D. Wolf. Now, he and all kinds of fascinating characters are made right here in Orlando, and I'll show you tonight at 11 o'clock.
Rolling.
I'm Glenn Raker.
I thought that was a good take.
This is the inside of what your kids will recognize as Ralph D. Wolf. Now, he and all kinds of fascinating characters are made right here in Orlando, and I'll show you tonight at 11 o'clock on Made in Florida.
Look at that. There's some rare footage of the manufacturing plant.
Because I had you down there, I might be...
No, wait a minute.
That's
Where are
great.
we? That's a Jefferson.
Pick up the head and get it all done.
Another wood floor.
Yeah.
I was master.
Boy, you were observant. I can't put one past. All right.
Yeah, the whole one time I've been there for an hour.
You're amazing. You guys are all amazing. Really.
Way too much.
I still say that's got to be Lazo.
Yeah, see, he fucked up. He fucked up my Laszlo. He took the Laszlo mask
This is
off
really
and
a
put it
fun
on that
place to work.
fucking
Now, you're
pirate.
also thinking, doing this to a fan. This is really a fun place to work. Who else would think of doing this to a fan?
Well, sort of reduces the efficiency of the fan.
Hey, let's go, Billy Bob.
Oh, no, the Lances on that. Oh, it's the moon rocker.
Oh, I've never got to see moon rocker.
Shit, you should see Shalisa performing with that moon rockers. I just have a very small piece of her doing that because it got raced. Sucks.
So it was the same voices, Rick and Bert and Shalisa and Duke on this. Yeah, so I've always wondered who voices that.
Stethoscope and bend it.
See what's right, there is no life.
That was you, wasn't it?
No.
It's a great big party.
You can hear it playing all night long.
It is designed to have a live person singing with it. So there's some lines that are missing.
Oh, like a karaoke.
So let us take you there. We call the city inside the moon.
My name is Princess Haley from the Sea of Tranquility. I am lost to sing and hear my voice echo across the galaxy.
Now, did that have a sun and a moon equivalent?
I don't think so.
I know it had like a little eyeball guy that was like Antioch.
Yeah, the Antioch eyeball. Yeah.
I always wondered about that.
That's okay.
Because I was trying to figure out what you would have there on the moon.
Yeah, I figured this all had to be at the Jefferson Building because the tape says 1989, which, you know, all we had was the Jefferson Building by then. And if you notice, I'm not in this at all because I was totally done with news stories. They serve no purpose. They never once got me laid.
Sorry, hon. Tell the truth.
God.
Oh wow, there were several of them that used to run.
Yeah, that's the display we took to a convention in 1985.
Oh, your Billy Bob.
That's what I was wondering. No, I have a news clip and I've seen the white platform he's on. It's got more movement than I realized.
Yeah, he's got guitar up, strum, mouth, head up and down, head left and right.
Body Lenny.
Yeah.
That's cool with the little curtains. That's one of your daughters, isn't it?
Yeah. Alex has got that programming stance.
This is not the programming that they used. I swear Showbiz did their own version.
Yeah.
Because Mixie and Beach Bear's Mouth aren't programmed to the little, I don't know what you call it, little
Stoops, backgrounds.
Yeah. Different programming from
You
what
might be right. I wouldn't put it past you.
It's so sad that I know that. But those guys apparently had their own version that didn't know that
I'm surprised that's still there in 1989. I thought we got rid of the bass drum by, you know, the early 80s.
You mean the kick or the light?
The kick.
Louie, if you're in a small room and Duke is actually hitting his drums, it's incredibly annoying.
It depends on if you've got it programmed right and adjusted right.
Yeah.
But I've heard this so many times that I knew exactly what was coming, and I have to anticipate it. So
Oh, really?
you have to be able to.
I got his mouth.
Yeah, we tried everything, and without question, the doorbell buttons have a feel, and it was the best.
Hey, y'all, come on, let's get us help me out with the coolest little nursery rhyme I ever heard.
Yeah, we laid out as many as 8 buttons, but sometimes you would want to do more than one at a time. Like for instance, if you were working on arms, you'd want to push both up at the same time. But sometimes we look together and we really want to work like the eyelids, but then we want a little variation.
Go and glance down at it, looked up at it, and said, "It's a knick-knack, paddywhack, get it rolling on." And a cool ride, just play on my drum, baby, knick-knack, get it rolling on. Go and get rolling on.
Pre-roll. Alright.
I think this is where we came into it, into this thing.
369,
See, another thing about, they didn't program that opening sequence. The curtains close and they don't start singing or moving until row, 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 right about 3 seconds before they start singing row, row, row your boat, and they all are waving and stuff as the curtains open.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what mine does. I've got this programmed at my, at the shop.
Yeah.
We'll see what's on it.
Do you have Liberty?
No. No, I mean sections of it. I know I have sections of it, because, but I don't have the whole.
Yeah, that's on the TiVo. It was at Looney Birds. There's a piece of it.
Yeah, there's pieces of it for sure.
This show's awesome.
Fire pizza. Let's see what's in here.
I wish Funtime Pizza had really worked. That was very showbiz like.
Yeah,
We had
Alan
one-
Adler, the name of that guy.
Yeah, I think Cinemark Movie Company owned them, and there were only 8. Now, what's weird is there was a mini show out of the 8 stores with just Fats, Mitzi, and I've got the balance to it.
And Billy Bob.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know exactly what the story is, but they had some Chuck E. Cheese characters that were added in.
Really?
Because the Rolf had blue eyes, and the so I don't know exactly the order of events.
The ileum anastomose to the end of the esophagus.
Oh, there's little Billy.
Hi everybody, I'm Aaron Fector, and I want to welcome you to one of my private labs where tonight we're going to unveil my latest invention, the Miniature Billy Bob Show. Now this tape is being prepared exclusively for the people who may become involved with me in the development of this doll. It's in the final development stages, and there's some people that I need to show it to, and this is the way we're going to do it. Now he's right here behind these here curtains. This is going to be the first glimpse anyone's ever had of it, and it's going to be very short, so don't blink your eyes, and it's going to come up right now. Is there anything else you want to know before I roll the clip? Probably not. Okay, so you ready?
Oh man, he's got like a little.
Mama wants me out at the grocery store, just like she has 100 times before. She wrote it on a note that I just read. Well, I ain't lazy and I ain't lame, but to move right now would be a crying shame, and I just can't seem to get on out of this bed.
But wait a minute. What the heck? All I need is some gas. There ain't nothing you can make.
I think this is the single greatest Billy Bob song right here.
This is the single what?
This is the best song Billy Bob ever did right here.
This one was written by Claude.
Was it Claude?
Like a note. The curtains are animated.
Oh, wow. I thought you wrote this.
Nope.
It's Claude.
Okay, so that's the little animated Billy Bob doll. Now, we're going to have him ready for the marketing season in 1986. As I mentioned, we are in our final development stages of the doll, which means we're perfecting the prototypes and we're preparing the software that Billy Bob is going to perform. Among the stories that Billy Bob is going to read to the kids, and they can read along with in their little illustrated storybooks, are Goldilocks, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Hansel and Gretel, all the really great classics that we grew up with. So that's what Billy Bob's going to be. He's going to be a great storyteller for the kids of the 80s. And in addition, he's going to be doing music. Not only the music for the little kids like Itsy Bitsy Spider and all those Humpty Dumpty songs and stuff like that. Sure, we'll be doing that for the little kids like the 1 to 3 year olds. But we're also going to be doing music like you see on MTV and you hear on the radio. The kids will love it when Billy Bob's rocking out to their favorite songs by the Police and Michael Jackson and Madonna. So we're going to definitely include that, and we love to do it anyway in our studio. So that's going to be part of Billy Bob's thing. As far as price goes, we're going to be trying to hit about an $80 price for the doll. The stage will be extra. We haven't really figured out what it is. But as I mentioned, this is a preview, and we'll be coming out with the final prices later on. You'll see Billy Bob, by the way, demonstrated at the toy show in February in New York, so we hope to see you there. Another thing you're going to be able to do with the Billy Bob doll, this is all under development and it'll be coming out after the Billy Bob doll is released, but you'll be able to connect it to your Apple computer or your Commodore computer. So if you don't know what to do with your computer, just connect it to a Billy Bob doll and he'll tell you. So that's going to be another great educational function.
Nobody knew what to do with computers back then.
Thank you for watching this preview. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot to tell you, one of the best things that Billy Bob's going to be able to do, he's going to be able to call the kids by name. Parents will be able to write in, tell us what their kid's name, and order tapes where Billy Bob actually knows the child's name and talks to them in person. So we're really excited about it. We've got a lot of things to do. So I got to get back to work, okay? So see you later.
I guess it was cost effectiveness issue on that.
The biggest problem I had with that doll is that it did not hold up.
There are people in this world who just don't seem to fit into standard categories.
Well, some people say I'm a puppeteer. And some people say I'm unemployed. Really what I am is an inventor. Okay, where's my hammer? I'll fix it.
But none of those labels seem to fit Aaron Fector.
Airplane model. See, it's got aluminum foil on the inside. It's got my flying wings on the outside. I can also wear this in the ring. The aluminum foil makes it possible. Thank you.
At first glance, most people would find it incredible that anyone would take this man seriously. Let's face it, some of his activities appear a little bizarre, to say the least. But make no mistake, although his approach to life and work may be a little unusual, his success at both is nothing short of phenomenal. At 28, he's responsible for employing well over 200 people, and his corporation's income tops $20 million per year. With his research labs, studio, and factory located in Orlando, Florida, he's building his dreams so fast that the group of talented people he leads has to run just to keep up at times.
Changes his mind a lot.
But run they do, and none seem to mind the pace. As a matter of fact, Aaron's business of building and programming audio animatronic shows, or electronimation as he calls it, has grown dramatically since a rather bumpy beginning in 1976. Starting off with $5,000 borrowed from his father, Aaron constructed his first basic electronic character. And since that day, his life just hasn't been the same.
Luck is what got the ball rolling, okay? Like the luck found me the right people. So I got real lucky and found the right people. And those people got more people like them around, so our team is sort of a unified, lucky team for that reason. And
there's no doubt that luck had a lot to do with the success of Aaron's company, Creative Engineering. But the vision and persistence of its manager is what keeps the firm seething with new ideas and possibilities.
Hey, let's go.
Exploring as many possibilities as he can seems to be what Aaron is about. From performing and mixing original music for his shows
So go ahead.
That thing that you just now saw, that was the prototype for a position sensing mechanism. Okay, so that was going to be the way we were going to go. So that, you know, right now it's all open loop. There's no, we don't know where the cylinder is. But I'll tell you, the cylinders always go where they're supposed to go because for some reason or other it's repeatable. But, especially when you program it, you're watching it. But I wanted to experiment with closed loop position control. And that's what that was, that thing that we just saw.
That'd be awesome if you could vary the speed.
Yeah, and then we could vary the speed so that you could make things go at different speeds.
Right.
Now we can appear to make things go at different speeds using single speed air cylinders. And the way you do that is if you reverse, if you let go of the button, you let go the other direction before it bottoms out, it moves much faster because it's still got pressure on it.
Yeah.
But if you push a button when a cylinder is bottomed out, then it starts slowly and then increases in speed. So we had ways, once you developed the knack for it, you played it like a musical instrument, you could make it look like you were running different speeds. But you weren't really, and you really didn't have all that control that you're talking about. Yeah, it would have been great. But man, nobody was willing to pay for anything. Nothing.
Yeah, that's what killed second generation Duke.
Everything second generation was killed because nobody needed it any better than it was. Nobody cared. Nobody cared even as it was. Even as it was, people weren't taking care of it. It was really a very uphill struggle.
Wouldn't it be awesome to program with a full body suit like they do in the...
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that a million times, you know, and we experimented with that.
Did you really?
Yeah, we didn't have a full body suit. We experimented, we started with an arm. So we have a mechanism, and I've still got it down there, where it was an arm that had the positions on it, the position sensors. And we started programming with that. But you know what? You can't do as good a job if you're controlling an open loop air cylinder system.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a perfect robot that perfectly matches what you can do, then that's another situation. But if you've got a machine that can't match what you're doing, then why are you trying to do this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, so really, you gotta, your playback mechanism has to be able to match your digitizing mechanism, or you might as well not have the digitizing mechanism.
Yeah.
Where it's at. See, so we had, that's an arm with one cylinder on it with feedback control, and we were able to move it where we wanted to move it. It was beautiful and it really had a lot of promise, but that was the end of the research budget. We're looking at the end of all the research budget right here.
Some possibilities.
The way of the future. Okay, let's go.
Exploring as many possibilities as he can seems to be what Aaron is about. From performing and mixing original music for his shows,
Boy, we could do something with that. Check that section again.
to inspecting computer-controlled time cards at the production plant.
Time cards. Okay, now I remember when it first happened, we still had to...
Most of the hardware and entertainment packages made by Creative Engineering are used in Showbiz Pizza Parlors, a chain of restaurants that are a combination of high-tech electronic amusement palaces and pretty good places for pizza. Aaron's style of entertainment seems at home in this casual setting, where having fun is the only requirement of the house.
I'm truly dedicated to the entertainment and Showbiz Pizza place. When we turn out a new show tape, and I go out there and I watch people, I'm praying for their reactions. These people who are behind the show really hope they enjoy it. That's more than can be said for most bands or any other pizza restaurant that's got animation or most forms of entertainment. We are truly trying to please people.
After watching Aaron work, you can't help but notice a remarkable similarity between him and another man who shared the same enjoyment in creating new dreams, Walt Disney. As Aaron walks through his plant, he goes from person to person, chatting, checking on pet projects, always charged with enthusiasm, and that spirit shows in his employees.
Everybody's input, there's a lot of people here, have a lot of good input, a lot of creative people here.
Can't complain about a minute of it. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of challenges, a lot of
yeah, I don't want to get fired.
Into the realm of the unknown,
and into the realm of the unknown is exactly where Mr. Fector likes to go as often as possible. Innovation and risk-taking are some of the tools that make his ideas and dreams work. When you can catch him, Aaron's father, Mel Fector, can tell you as much about what makes his son tick as anyone.
I see Aaron is very versatile person.
He has no mental blocks, that I have discovered.
My dad liked me.
He's willing to undertake any problem in any field of endeavor, uses electronics, mechanics, and it's the blend of these that are the essence of his ability.
Because of the scope of his accomplishments and the direct and energetic methods with which he handles problems, the term genius has been applied to Aaron by some, although he flatly rejects that description.
Everybody that knows me knows I'm not a genius, and they know that the geniuses are, helping me, but basically I just manage their genius. What I do is I sort of run around between the areas, ask that the projects that we've okayed as a group be developed, and watch the development of those projects. And when we run into a real problem area or a snag that wasn't anticipated in our brainstorming session, then it's my job to identify the snag and get everybody together and come up with a new approach.
Whatever approach he and his team take, they always head forward. And judging from what they've accomplished so far, you might think Aaron would be running thin on ideas. What are your plans for the future? Do you have any dreams left?
I'd love to get involved in energy. We've got to get into energy research that uses the biggest source of energy in the world, the sun, which brought us all our energy in the first place.
It's still a very valid idea right about now.
And home computers.
That was really what the start of creative engineering was all about.
Not just computer enthusiasts.
This whole thing with
What we have here is a person to whom work is really a form of entertainment and fun. One of those rare individuals who can look into next month or next year and see a line of open opportunities. And as for the future of his work?
I was not only hoping to develop into what it is, I was hoping it'd be much further than it is. So it's great that it's here, but I haven't really looked back and said, my goodness gracious, how far we've come for very long at a time, because I realize how long the road is in front of us.
That road may be long, but Aaron Fector seems to have a pretty good roadmap to follow.
When I was your age, Gary.